Okay. We in here Tuesday night live. We're on the shoulders of giants. How y'all doing out there? How y'all doing? Welcome in. Tuesday night live is going down tonight. We're having a good discussion tonight. Of course, you see the thumbnail, you see the title. We analyzing Jane Elliot. Jane Elliot is having a conversation with some young brothers about reparations, and we're going to analyze that. The young brothers asked her what she think about reparations for black people, and she gave her answer. Her answer was not a desired answer, especially for black people in America. Black people see Jane Elliot as an ally. The PC Pat and I have done a video a while ago, maybe a year or two ago, and we broke down Jane Elliot, and we don't see her as an ally. So that you can see that video. That's like the welcome video on this channel. So, but that's the main thing that we get into today. Our first video that we're getting into, it's a video that if you watch my Monday videos, my book reviews, if you watch those. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did one, a brother talking about black unity. Basically, his thing is black unity is a myth. That's his claim. His belief is black unity is a myth. Now, he's more so talking about black unity as a whole for black America, like black America as a total people. Black unity is a myth. But he has some points that I agree with, some points I disagree with. So in that video, I said, you know what, I want to explore this video a little further. So I thought this was a good video to pair with Jane Elliot, because in order to get reparations, you're going to have some kind of real unity. Black people are going to have to get together and decide that we're going to be better and do better on a mass scale, in my opinion, to be able to really get reparations, to really be a group of people who are respected on a level that we should be respected. So these are things that we're getting into tonight. Come on in to this live stream. Remember to hit that like button. Please hit that like button, comment, subscribe. If you have not subscribed to this channel, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. YouTube be shadow banning, but every day at 1 p.m. I have a video ready for you. Every day at 1 p.m. So my man Dion White is in the building. Oh man, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing because we telling the truth over here. We telling the truth. Yeah. So the Iron Horse 8227 says, who still trusts this woman? Hey, black people, we're susceptible to being scammed. We're susceptible to charisma. We're susceptible to anybody who's doing anything that we feel like is helping us. A lot of times we don't analyze the whole thing because it makes us feel good. A lot of people know how to play on our feelings. So TRB Story said, I don't know if he talking to Iron Horse or not. Don't be starting stuff, TRB Story. Don't be starting stuff. So, we ain't gonna be on here long tonight because it's Tuesday night. It's a school night. Y'all know it's a school night. Y'all got class in the morning. So I'm gonna stop talking. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing going. And remember, I just dropped my email address, my email address in the comments. So anybody want to reach out to me, my email address is in the comments. So let's go ahead and listen to this brother give his thoughts and opinions on black unity. Let's get it. Please hit that like button as well.
What's going on? This is David W. Williams, also known as Diamond Dave, the founder of the highest paid part-time job in the world. So we're going to do a video version of a post I did on Facebook. I want to say maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? So this is going to be really, I got laws of game as a hashtag, but this is really going to be like a basic dark persuasion video in which we're going to kind of talk about how you have been persuaded to believe in this myth of black unity, right?
Okay.
And so the reason why you want to listen to this is because you want to get off, right? You want to get away from believing about this myth of black unity, because you may believe that black unification is going to get you where you desire. And I want you to believe that black unification will not get you what you desire. It may get you killed. It may get you incarcerated. But probably the number one thing it's going to do is put you in a situation, right, where you cannot take care of your family. And so if you're about your family and trying to push your family forward, you may want to forget about this myth of black unity. Okay? What I want you to understand is, so we got to deal with beliefs, because the reason why people operate the way they operate is because of how they believe things, right? So that person believes certain things about the world, and because of their beliefs, they operate under those beliefs. So what we do with working class black people and poor black people inside the United States, we teach them this myth of black unity. We teach them that the world or the United States will only be better, and black people's experiences will only be better if all black people became unified and they all pushed in one direction, right? And we teach them what's going on, Mecca. We teach them this because now we give them something to aspire to and also something to demand from other black people. And then what it does is now it creates a distraction and a lot of contention amongst different black people, because they may see a black person doing something and they say, well, you know what? If these black people just thought about other black people, the situation could be a lot better.
Well, I hear him. I don't agree with him, but I hear him. And my pushback is, well, that's why you unify under a code. That's why you have to have a code of conduct, right? Black unity is a myth. Black unity is a myth because we have not made it happen. He has ideas more of on a individualistic, as of right now, he's talking more of a individual mindset. Take care of your family first. Nobody's arguing with taking care of your family, but who all do you view as your family? And also he's talking about working towards black unity is something that could get us harmed. Well, I mean, with that attitude, we will never get from under the thumb of white supremacy. With that attitude, oppression will never end. With that attitude, I mean, what you talk about? Basically saying never challenge the system, because if you challenge the system, you're gonna mess up your bread, and your bread is what you need, because that's really what's gonna lead you to some unity. That's what I'm getting. Y'all tell me in the comments. You get in the comments, y'all tell me what y'all are hearing. But I'm hearing, don't challenge the system, because if you challenge the system, you're gonna mess up the money for you as an individual and your family, and you as an individual won't be able to progress. But also, like I said earlier, I'm not speaking for all black folk, but I'm speaking for the ones over here in our lane, for the black folk who read what we read, who study what we study, who know what we know, the information that we've come across. It's not just uniting. It's not just black people come together, hold hands, saying kumbaya, we shall overcome all those things. No, it's uniting under a code of conduct. And when you unite under a code of conduct, you don't have to worry about all that other hoorah stuff, right? Because that's the whole purpose of the code, to set rules, set ground rules, right? Set boundaries to make sure that we're moving in the right direction the way we're supposed to. Because if you're not united, in my opinion, from what I've studied, from studying history and all the information that I've read, I don't know a group of divided people who can really have a true push for reparations. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if that's gonna happen if you're gonna be a group of divided people who can actually really push for reparations. Miss Ashland saying she two-faced. African Americans first. Remember the Trail of Tears? They did us dirty. Also, Cashapp me my reparations check. Be first. Jane can go to hell. I'm just saying, hey, we getting the Jane. We getting our warm up in. Because we got to understand. We got to understand the importance of black unity. Because without real black unity under a code of conduct, we will never get reparations. We will never get it. Are we getting to it, Griff? Gifty, we getting to it. But you already know I got to give you a warm up. Bush woman is in the building. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me go ahead and let brother keep talking so we can get through this.
And really what it is, in my opinion, it's a way for individuals to avoid leadership, right? It's a way for individuals to avoid leading their groups, for them being responsible for what has happened in their geographical area, right? And then for taking charge of what needs to be taken charge of. Because this is something that is taught to working class and poor Black people, so they never organize amongst themselves because they always believe in this myth of Black unity. And if we can just get Black unity, everything can work in the direction we need it to work in. One of the things I learned from Bobby Steele, right? And I'm not a student of Bobby Steele, but I learned from Bobby Steele.
He means Bobby Seale. He means Bobby Seale. But you can't have Black unity without true organization. You have to organize your way to unity, though.
Is that when they talked about being a leftist or being a communist or being a socialist, and you start reading these books like Karl Marx, you start reading Lenin, your job as a Black person is not to take those books and try to just make that a straight template, right, for what you're trying to do. Your job is to take those books, look at the condition of your people locally, and try to figure out how you could take some of those ideas. What's going on, Akil? What's going on, Miss Brown? How you could take some of those books and apply those theories and those principles to your local situation, right? There was never supposed to be a national situation, right? For the stuff that the Black Panther Party started. And that's something that Bobby Steele talked about, is as they let more people into the party, they started having a lot of issues because it was never part of the core group. It was never supposed to be nationwide and broad like that. It was always supposed to be localized. And then you can be inspired by some of their models and take their models and try to figure out how to make it work in your local area. It was Huey that wanted to spread it out on a national level. We saw how that worked. It really started to cause a lot of challenges and a lot of contradictions in what they was trying to do when you had a lot of infighting. We as Black people, we've been taught this, like, we're going to have a national campaign. I remember when the brother Tavis Smiley used to bring all these Black people together and start talking about how, like, we had a national solution to Black issues. I forgot what they called it, but it used to be something they used to show on CNN back in the day when Tavis Smiley had a lot of clout in media. The problem with that is we believe that these Black thinkers, right, and these Black politicians and these Black academics have a solutions for problems in areas that they are not at in. So I'm from Orlando, Florida. I'm from down south, right? We have certain situations that we have certain problems that are local to us that may be different from somebody in New Orleans, or may be different from somebody in Oakland, or may be different from somebody in Philly, or may be different from somebody in Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas City, Kansas. So why should somebody in Chicago, who's a leader of his group in Chicago, why would he have a solution to our problem if he don't have people down here that have observed and understand our problem? So I don't need to listen to a bunch of people sit around and talk about how we're going to solve Black people's issues on a national level, because we're bound into this live Black unity. There's never been a unified Black group in the history of the world, right? It's never happened. We weren't unified in Africa. We always had contradictions and issues with each other. That's part of the reason why so many Africans were sold off that continent, whether they were sent to the Middle East, right? Or they were sent to this part of the world, to the West. It was because of contradictions and conflicts amongst different African groups. We come over here, we have those same contradictions and conflicts. One of the biggest reasons is because we came over here as different groups of people. So part of those contradictions and conflicts stopped us from being organized. Did you have some Black organized groups? Yes, you did. Did you have some Black revolts against slavery? Yes, you did. But what you have to understand is that we're looking at a group of around 40 million, an estimated 40 million Black people. I don't understand why anybody would think we're going to get all those people on the same page. And so what we keep doing is we keep telling working class and poor Black people, we keep using these words like Black unity. We keep using these words like Black community, right? And we're trying to make it as if Black people, the only way we're going to be successful is have some type of monolithic thinking.
So I'm gonna stop him right there because he ain't our main feature, but I just wanted to get that for our base, our foundation, right? Because we're talking about his argument is Black unity is a myth. on a large scale. I don't disagree with that as far as a large scale. That's never been a mass scale of black unity in America for black Americans. But that is something that we're supposed to be aspiring to. So I hear what he's saying, and I do agree. Take care of your local stuff. I preach it all the time. Take care of your local level, but you take care of your local level so you can spread out and be able to organize and unite on a national level. Racism is a team sport. Racism is a team sport. You can either win as a team or you can lose as a team. Racism, I mean, you can try to attack it on an individual level if you want to, but where has that been successful? You just mentioned some of the revolts and things that we've had, right? We've had victories. We won battles, but we ain't winning no wars. So how do we win the war? And that's what we got to get to, winning the war. Now, one of the wars that we've been fighting is this reparations war. And in my opinion, and one of the things I've always said from all the information that I've studied and learned and everything, hey, strong groups of people get what they want. Organized groups of people get what they want. Strong, organized groups of people get what they want. He says, Door of L said, he doesn't understand or understand white terrorism is confusion, talking heads. I'm right. So, but that's why I attached that video to my reading of the miseducation of the Negro, because he sounded like a lot of that rhetoric that was talking about in that chapter of the so-called elite separating themselves from the masses, because he was talking about information, a set of information given to the elite and certain information given to the poor. So this is well timed, Joe. I just came back from a black men community meeting. We're just talking about this in gentrification time, man. I'm glad, man, we're on the same page, my brother. We out here. I'm glad and welcome. Door of L, welcome as well. Gifty, welcome as well. Everybody, welcome. We getting it in. So, the main thing we talk about, Jane Elliott, right? Jane. Now, remember, black people in America, we are a group of people who've been beat up on for a long time. And a lot of times through our trials, tribulations, our trauma, our hurt, when some people throw out or say certain things that seems to help us, we'll attach ourselves to those people. But remember, we're not an organized group of people. We're not a unified group of people. We're not a codified group of people. We are a disjointed group of people. Unity is one of the things. I'm 41 years old. All my life, and this issue has been around longer than me. That all my life I've been hearing black people saying our main issue is we don't come together. Well, why do you think we don't come together? And that is by design. But how do we reverse that? You got to reverse that, right? How do we reverse that? How do we reverse the program? How do we break the chains? That's what we come here to do, to learn how to break the chains, but also to be able to look at the bull that's in front of us, call it out, understand it, and make sure that others are moving forward, not being blinded, not letting the blind lead the blind, or even letting some of our oppressors lead us, members of the oppressor group. Jane Elliott became famous for her blue-eyed, brown-eyed experiment that she was doing, and then black people just welcomed her in. We're very, very, very welcoming people, very accommodating people. We just let people on in, and then let people in. Now we found out that Jane Elliott don't think the way we thought she did. Now we find out Jane Elliott might not really be on our side if you really listen to and break down what she said, right? She's a perfect symbol of how the Democrats and politicians treat us in general. Very liberal till we touch their bottom line and make them uncomfortable, right? But we are a group of people who allow others, and you're right, Ty, I agree with you 100%. But we are a group of people who allow others to just do whatever, and we still show up. People could promise us whatever, and we still show up. Dr. Welsing body bagged her, and Tim, look. But man, look, let's go ahead and get to it. It's a school night, so let's go ahead and get to it, so we won't be here all night, but we can go ahead and make this thing impactful. Jane Elliott out here lying. My bad. I said the wrong thing. I don't know what that. I don't know what I shared. Says together we stand. Says 1 million each to 40 million people is 40 quadrillion. The national debt's the highest in the history of the world. 37 trillion. America's no longer a powerhouse it once was and failing. Yeah, it is failing now. One of the problems with America failing is we have become so dependent upon America that when America falls, we fall with it because we're dependent upon America for our survival. That's the problem. That's why our scholars, our ancestors, our master teachers, everybody been telling us that we got to do for self. We got to create our own. So if America falls and we are 100% dependent upon America, we're going to be in trouble. But let's go ahead and get to it though. Please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share. This is On the Shoulders of Giants. If this is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome.
How do you feel about reparations for Black Americans and others, that especially in this country that had to deal with the atrocities of, people who classify themselves as white?
Well, let me put it this way. I'm going to lose most of your Black audience now, but this is the way it is. The first modern human beings that came to this continent came from Africa.
Hey everyone, in this guide we're introducing our new AI indicator, which we developed in a partnership with OpenAI. This is the first.
And the people who are suffering the most from COVID are Native Americans who came from Africa. Now, if you're going to give reparations, we better start giving reparations to the people whom we raped, killed, murdered in various ways, and whose land we took. Let's start there. I'm all for reparations from there. Want to give them back the land? I don't think you want to. I don't think you would stand for that for an instant.
So let's stop right there. Go back and Ty's comments right on time, right? So of course Jane Elliott not willing to give up anything. And that's the question that we have to ask people when they're talking about ending white supremacy, ending racism, right? So are you and your people willing to give up land, power, wealth, and resources to equally redistribute everything y'all took? Because if you're not willing to do that, then you're not willing to give reparations or end racism. Because that's what white supremacy is about. Being the world superpower, controlling everybody. So says if America falls, I'm not sure that they won't torch the worst. I'm just saying, I don't disagree, but listen to what she's saying. Like, she's talking about giving reparations to the Native Americans first. Well, my brother didn't ask you about the Native Americans. Let's start there. The brother didn't ask you anything about the Native Americans. You're on a podcast with two Black men and they're talking about reparations for Black people. And you bring up the Native Americans because you think that they should get reparations. Now, I don't disagree that some type of reparations should be given to any group of people who was done wrong by these folk. But what that got to do with us? Not to be cold or callous or anything, but what that have to do with us? Black people are fighting for reparations for Black people. We're asking you about reparations for Black people. Nobody asked you about reparations for the Native Americans. So I'm not even sure why we're even talking about that. But that's a fight for Native Americans. So you should be on the podcast with Native Americans, right? But another question is, are Native Americans fighting for their own reparations? It's not Black Americans' job to fight for Native Americans, the reparations for them. And then remember, Jane Elliott has the privilege, because she doesn't come from an oppressed people. She has the privilege to say what she's saying, but she just saying it. What tangible outcomes have we gotten from Jane Elliott? Let's start there. What tangible outcomes have Black people gotten from Jane Elliott? Drop it in the comments. Please tell me what tangible outcomes have we gotten from Jane Elliott, right? And what tangible outcomes will the Native Americans get from Jane Elliott? I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, Jane. But what that got to do with us? He's asking you about reparations for Black people in America. Seeing what I have lately, I'd say there's almost no hope to work without. I'm just saying. I don't think the route. I agree with you, William. I don't think the route we're going is a route that's actually gonna get us what we're asking for. That's why I played the video first of the brother talking about Black unity, right? He's saying Black unity is a myth. Yeah, it's a myth because it hasn't happened, but it's something we should be aspiring to. Start on your local levels and build out. Everybody unite. Get your stuff together at home, and then you can help others. If your home ain't together, you can't help others. But if we're not a united, strong, respected group of people, we're not gonna get nothing. Weak people get nothing. Right, Frazier. Jane Elliott hasn't helped any group of people produce any tangible outcomes. It's just been talk. Nothing. Some hero.
But and you need to realize that they were the first Americans. We called them Indians because Columbus and other people didn't know where the devil they were. They thought they were West Indies. They must be Indians. They weren't Indians. They aren't Indians. They'll never be Indians. They were from Africa, as we all were. So if we're going to start with reparations, let's make reparations to the first Black people who came to this continent. Let's start with those people we call First Nations.
Well, no, let the Native Americans start rallying for their own reparations. Once again, like Will Justice is saying, we need our own land autonomy and separation, right? We're talking about us, lady. We're talking about us. That's the Native Americans fight. That's not our fight. But once again, she has the privilege to fight for another group of people. She don't know what it's like to be oppressed. Don't let her. I'm a white woman. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Because they were the First Nations. I doubt very much that there are unless you're in prison, and that's our new form of slavery in this country, is the prison industrial system. You know it as well as I do. But if you aren't in prison, you're probably not being enslaved, and you're probably not living on a dirt floor without any electricity, without any running water, without any central heating or cooling or air, and 100 miles from a hospital. But there are lots of Native Americans who are living in that very situation. And now somebody's going to say, we gave them the land. We gave them a postage stamp size of the land. We did not give them anything. We stole from them and gave very little back. If you're going to do reparations, let's do reparations for those folks first. I'm all for that. And I know now that that'll make a whole lot of people of color angry. But you have to, if you're gonna try to repair this situation, you better start where the worst damage has been done.
Well, I mean, we can argue on where the worst damage has been done. That can be argued, right? That can be argued like a mug. But like Miss Ashley is saying, she's saying, save everybody but Black people. You on the show with two Black men talking about reparations for Black people, and basically you were saying, well, we're gonna save everybody but y'all can get a ticket and get in line. You know, things happen to other groups of people that's not advocating for reparations for themselves like y'all are, but you know, they need to get their reparations. Okay, you say got to get state senators locked in first before we can even think about national talk. I hear you, but I think we need to get locked in as a people first. Before we can even talk to the senators, we need to get locked in and have our stuff together. People are slaves for rent. Hey, Mr. Kerwin Cooper Sr., thank you for being here, my brother. Thank you. Jimmy, what's going on, my brother? Half Native American, facts. We're saying local, national, franchise, drop-in senators and business, social clubs, Black History Month, all that. It's like she's saying Black people didn't get injured like the natives, but they were hurt first, so they should get healed first, basically. That ain't our fight, lady. That's not our fight.
And what about the descendants of slavery?
I think the descendants of slavery
cover that,
deserve
William.
some kind of reparations, but I think the descendants of the First Nations deserve some kind of reparations too. And I think you can't do it for one without doing it for the other. And which one are you going to start with? Because you see,
well, Jane, we're going to start with us. We're going to start with us. We're not fighting for reparations for anybody else. Why would we fight for reparations for anybody else? And we've been getting the ass end of everything for forever. Why would we fight for reparations for any other group of people first? What sense does that make? How would that get us what we need? How have the Native Americans truly been an ally to Black people, to Black Americans, right? But even so, let's say they were great allies. What that got to do with us getting our reparations for what happened to us? And why are you so hell-bent on making sure we get to the back of the line? Why you want people to skip us? You want people to skip us in our own fight. What sense does that make? She's telling those young men, hey, I know you're fighting for reparations. I know you and your people are fighting for reparations, but hey, I think you need to make space for the Native Americans and their plight so they can get some of the reparations that y'all fighting for. Well, what sense does that make? What sense does that make? He says, I'm not sure, Chosen. I'm not even gonna act like I'm one of them dudes. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have no idea. Native Americans do not want reparations. They want treaty land back. Somebody said they already got reparations. They got some, they got more than us. They got some stuff. They got more than what we ever got, though. I tell you that. Persistent traumatic slave syndrome. Did the Native Americans get some? They got some kind of stuff, yeah. And they got Indian claim. What they have? It says most large U.S. reparations to indigenous people took the form of monetary awards or negotiated land and cash settlements, not full restoration of historic lands, which groups received payments depended largely on legal venue, who could sue successfully, documentary proof of a treaty take, statutory fixes, congressional acts, political context, and whether claimants accepted money in exchange for extinguishing further claims. So they got like land and money and stuff like that. But you know, it wasn't like full reparations, but that's more than what we ever got. I'm just saying, we got to learn how to look out for ourselves. Me, Pat, PC been talking about this forever. We got to learn how to look out for ourselves. We've been fighting for everybody else forever and ain't getting nothing. What sense does that make? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and expecting a different result. Imagine beating your head against a wall just over and over and expecting something different to happen. You finna knock yourself out. I'm not a person of color. I'm an African born here and proud of it. Hey man, we here. We here. We've been telling people, man, we Black people from America and we ain't got no problem with it. You know what I'm talking about? I think we should look and say, why does a white woman get to decide? Well, that's called white privilege. That's called, and remember, Pat talks about what he got something called WWF, what he calls white woman fatigue, for women like her, who I'm going to speak for you. I'm going to tell you what should happen. I'm going to tell you all what you all should need. I'm going to tell you that this is how it is. I'm gonna come on your platform. You invited me on your platform, but forget what y'all talk about, because I'm gonna talk about another group of people. All right.
We tried to enslave Native Americans, but they would run away and get into the nearest village, and we couldn't tell which one. We couldn't tell them apart, so we couldn't tell which ones we had tried to enslave, and they got away. So we didn't start slavery with Black people, what we call Black people in this country. We started it with Native Americans, and we also.
Here's a hot take. If you have a message inside you that people are meant to hear, it'll never make the impact that it truly deserves.
Brought indentured servants here from other countries to act as servants until they had
chosen
worked long enough to pay back what it cost to bring them here and what they should have been paid while they were working. So the slavery didn't begin with people from Africa in this country. It began first with Native Americans, then with white folks, then with people of color, then with Africans.
We hear the word reparations being thrown around a lot.
What that got to do with what we're fighting for? Once again, that has nothing to do with what we're fighting for. I understand the history, but that's for a fight for, if white people want to try to fight for reparations for whatever, that's for them to fight for that. Native Americans want to fight for reparations for them, that's for them. But that's not for us. That's not for us to make that a priority of us to fight for. Every problem we have is the result of chattel slavery in this country. Everyone she speaks as though we no longer have problems and should join her in the reparations for Native Americans. Well, that shows you who she truly is. Together we stand. We're seeing who she truly is. All that blue-eyed, brown-eyed stuff. Yep. She the blue-eyed. Or the brown-eyed, whatever one. She ain't no different. Teaching, what somebody said earlier, just because you teach about racism don't mean you ain't got it in you. I think she said she come from that. You never stray too far from your foundation. I'm just saying. So let's let her keep lying.
Particular in politics, and it looks like, I guess somebody got some information that Black people in America are looking for some reparations, because now we see that conversation. Well, would you offer it? Would you offer it? Would you offer it? Do you realistically see any type of reparation given to anybody in this country as we see it?
I think if you can prove
Kerwin,
that your people
listen to this.
Were one of those.
Hold on.
Was one of the families to remember?
Ask that question.
Anybody in this country. Well, would you offer it? Would you offer it? Would you offer it? Do you realistically see any type of reparation given to anybody in this country as we see it?
I think if you can prove that your people were one of those, was one of the families or a member of the family that was used unfairly, was enslaved, then that's one thing. But if you can't prove that, then that's another thing entirely. And I think practically every Native American in this country could prove it.
How would we prove
their names? Well, they've got you can go through the. What?
I'm sorry to cut you off. How will Black Americans prove that if records and things were destroyed and we don't really have any actual proof of that? How would we prove that?
I don't know, and neither do you. But you can't prove it by just the fact that your skin is.
But you saying she just said every single Native American can prove it, and we know for a fact that we got some $5 Indians out there. We know for a fact. I've seen them with my own eyes here in Florida. I've been to some of these reservations here in Florida, and I've seen them with my own eyes. Some of these $5. I'm looking around like ain't nothing native about any of these Americans around here. I can see the costumes, but they ain't native about none of these cats. I don't act how she's acting like we don't know our history. Look, man. Look at that haircut. Anybody with a haircut like that, you can't trust them. I know I'm being petty. That's why I don't share a single family recipe. Look, we got to learn how to start gatekeeping. PC in the building. PC always telling us we got to gatekeep. PC in the building. Her, 10 Wise, and the lot can. Yep. I'm telling you, man, with a haircut like that. Said, shit, the 5 civilized tribes owe some of our folk reparations too. They sided with the Confederate. I'm just saying, we know the history of slavery in America. Every group of people that existed in America during the time of American slavery who had a chance to, members of those groups, we're not saying the total groups, but members of those groups who had a chance to enslave Black people, they enslaved Black people, including Native Americans. So like somebody said earlier, they owe us reparations too. But they were not our allies either, not in mass. There was a lot of them that were not allies. No one complained when Japanese, I'm saying.
Very dark, because there are a whole lot of people who came here not enslaved, who came with very dark skin.
Yeah, she is.
And there have been a whole lot of people come to this country without coming here as slaves.
Listen to this.
So my question would be, what's your motive?
Basically she's saying it's going to be hard for Black Americans to prove that we were enslaved in America, because there are other groups of Black people who come to America. So all she's doing is helping to prove why delineation is important. And Black people need to make sure you start learning your family tree. Delineation is important. She made a point for delineation, but she's also saying, hey, it's going to be easy to prove that Native Americans can get reparations because all of them should get it. But y'all black folk, y'all gonna have to, first of all, y'all need to get in line. First, get y'all asses in line. And then once you get in line, you need to prove that you were descendants of slaves. She does, look, man. $5 Indians, man. Yeah. Straight up, PC. Right on. We need to be like the NSA. Hey, man, she ain't talking about nothing. Said every group enslaved, every group that could did. Every group that could did. Man, Jane Elliott on her Matrix stuff. She on her Matrix stuff. She is compromised. Jane Elliott, remember, you never stray too far from your foundation. Jane Elliott know what she's doing. I'm telling you, I believe behind closed doors, Jane Elliott got smacked on the wrist, and she know her place as she get older. She know her place.
Your motivation for teaching against racism when you first got started was like a particular incident that got you, or was it just your life growing up that got you to start teaching out against racism?
Well, my father used to say to us when we were young, there were three daughters. My youngest daughter died at 3.5, and I had two sisters that were older than I was, Emma. And he would say to us, don't bring the pickaninnies into my house as grandchildren. And then my daughter married a man from Saudi Arabia. And before that, I did the blue-eyed, brown-eyed exercise with my kids in school, with my third graders. And this is what changed my father completely.
No, they didn't, Kerwin.
I took the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, filmed in my classroom. The second year I did that exercise. The first year I did it, it was just the kids and me.
If you can't quit the P word.
And then the word got out, this awful thing that this horrible person had done with these little kids. And I did this exercise the following year.
There you go.
And the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation sent a film crew to film it. They took that film, they edited the film down to half an hour and threw it into a film about Eskimos in Canada. And
I'm gonna be real, PhD, but I don't think she was sincere. I don't really think she was sincere. I mean, I think she was trying to run from who she really was, from her roots, to be honest, because she's talking about growing up in a very racist family, and then they were challenged when somebody had a mixed baby, but those are her roots. So I think she was trying to run from that. Or she could have even been playing a role. She could have been playing a role. But shout out to the PhD. Shout out to the PhD. Hey, I checked y'all out. Sharon, I checked the channel out. Y'all be over there wilding, but me and you gonna talk because y'all got some good stuff going on. But yeah, I checked y'all out. Y'all cool with me. But let's let her keep talking.
Sent me a copy of the film, and I showed it to my parents in their home. And my father was sitting there in his blue bib overalls and his blue shirt with the sleeves rolled up to the elbow, and he was watching that film of those little white kids going through that exercise in racism, with the blue-eyed people being mistreated and the brown-eyed people being favored. He watched that for half an hour, and when it was over, he stood up, he took his red handkerchief out of the back pocket of his blue bib overalls, blew his nose, wiped his eyes, and said, "I wish somebody had taught me that when I was 9 years old." Now, I hadn't seen my father cry since I watched him cry after my little sister's death. But what he saw happening to those little kids, because of an exercise based on a physical characteristic over which they had no control, changed his idea about race and racism. At that moment, he said, "This has to stop." And he said to me later, when my mother was castigating me for doing such an awful thing to those children, he said, "Jane, you're sure you're right?" And I said, "Dad, I'm sure I'm right." He said, "Then by God, go ahead, let the sons of bitches complain." And they complained, and they did worse than complain. The other teachers tried to get me fired every year because I was what I was doing with those children. Every year, 30% of the parents would call the principal before school started and say, "Don't put my kid in Elliot's classroom. I don't want."
And see, I think what she's saying is going back to PhD was question. I think Jane Elliott was like, "Oh, y'all gonna do this to me, so I'm gonna do this," and she was trying to buck the system, and she was trying to kind of run from herself. But somebody say she got a factory reset. So, says we didn't, right, Ty? We definitely don't need a validation, but Black people are listening. Black people not only listen to Jane Elliott, but they champion Jane Elliott because white ice is colder. They needed to hear it from a white person for it to be validated. That's the problem with Black people. We needed to hear it from her for it to be validated. Forget what you experience in your everyday life. Forget what the people around you experience. Forget, like you say, what our scholars have taught us. Until a white person says racism exists, racism ain't real. It don't really exist. It like exists, but it don't exist. But it exists. But when a white person said, that's when it like exist. So, you know. She been hey, straight up, Miss Ashley, me and you on the same page. My sister, we on the same page. She said the N-word. With that haircut, you know. Aloof says, you do great content. Not too many people talking about racism and white supremacy seriously, but it's easier in every area. You know, I appreciate you, and I thank you. Learn what you can and use their resources to help. There you go. Be the spook that's set by the door. And Neely Fuller even talked about it. Go get the resources where you can get the resources, but use those resources to go help those who need the most constructive help. And right now, we know our people need constructive help.
My kid in Elliot's classroom. I'll never forget the person who called and said, "I don't want my kid in that N-word lover's classroom, but I want him to learn to read, so put him in there anyway." And he put him in there, and the kid learned to read because I can do that. I can teach that chair to read if it had a mouth. It was difficult to be treated as though I had done something totally insane, when what I had done was create a microcosm of society in my third grade classroom. I did, for one day for the brown-eyed people and one day for the blue-eyed people, what we have done to people of color in this country for the last 300 years. We don't put a stop to it in this country. We think that's the way it is. We think
what she did in that experiment didn't come close to what happened to Black people in this country. Let's be clear about that. Those people still had basic humanity at the end of the day. Those people could walk out of there and quit that at the end of the day. It was nowhere near what happened. It was a simulation to try to get them to understand what happened, but it was nowhere near what happened to Black people. So listening to what people are saying, like really listening to what people are saying, you sound like an ally. She sounds like an ally. But if you listen to what she's saying a lot of bullshit. You can never duplicate that with some controlled simulation in your classroom with people who still have their humanity. Get out of here, lady. Black people, I'm just saying, Black people, but that's part of the conditioning, right? And that's Sharon Stone. That's part of the condition. You got to remember though, like Neely Fuller has taught us how, like Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, all of our scholars have taught us about our insanity. Chancellor Williams talks about it in Destruction of Black Civilization, the insanity that we have. Our minds have been scrambled. So anything white, we're going to praise until we break those chains. Until we break those chains, we're going to be praising white people, which is a problem. Yep. And that's the thing. And that's what Dr. Claude Anderson talks about, Chosen. And that's a problem. That's one of our fault too, because we want to become a part of this melting pot. We want to be a part of the people of color. So we're going to lose things because those other people are our competition and we don't even see it. We don't even understand that those other people are our competition. Don't let the friends you have make you think that as a group, they're not competition. Racism is a team sport. Racism is a team sport. Win as a team or lose as a team. Yeah, of course she's against our delineation. Jane Elliott wants everybody to get something except us.
If you're white, you're all right. We continue to do it.
Right,
we continue to tolerate it. We continue to protect it. We continue to go along with it. We continue to hire teachers to do it. I've heard horrible things said in front of students by teachers who get hired the next year. It was the kinds of things that are said by coaches on some basketball courts and on some football fields and on some wrestling mats should never be allowed to be said. And the coaches who are saying them should be fired immediately, because you can't teach about racism if you're practicing it in the wrestling room, or in the locker room, or on the basketball court, or on the football field. But if I had done the worst thing you could possibly do by treating my little third graders for one day the way we treat people of color for a lifetime in this country. And we don't wait until you're born. We start prenatally. A group of midwives, registered nurses, called me last year and asked me if I would speak to them. I said, why? They said, because we work in delivery rooms. I said, look, I was delivered of 4 children in 5 years, but I don't know anything about medicine. I know about how a child gets delivered. She said, that's not what we want to talk about. We want you to talk about racism. I said, why? She said, because we know that children of brown and black mothers don't get the same treatment in the delivery room that children of white mothers do. And we're midwives so that we can go into the delivery rooms and deliver children.
Can I get more than 11 likes, please? We got 50 people in this room. Can we get these likes up? Please, can we get these? Getting these likes up, helping me get further out to the algorithm. YouTube is shadow banning me right now. So the more y'all hit that like button, the more y'all comment, the more y'all subscribe, the more y'all share, the more y'all hit the hype button, the further this goes, the more people we can reach. The goal is to organize and come together and create community. So the more that you all hit that like button, the more we can do that. So please hit that like button. Let's get these likes up, please.
Children and treat them all the same. She said, we can deliver these children away from the delivery room and they can get the same treatment if we're doing the delivery. Now think about that. We don't start with you. We don't wait to start until after you're born. We do it to you before you're born.
There you go.
Then we don't stop after you're dead. There are still cemeteries in the United States of America where black people are not allowed to be buried because those cemeteries are for whites only. Now, think about how ugly this is and how self-defeating it is and how much pain it has cost us and how much money it has cost us. However, you need to realize that the reason we perpetuate racism is because it is a moneymaker. You can build a prison.
She just told on herself. The reason why we perpetuate racism is because it's a moneymaker. But the reason why you keep going around talking about racism is because it makes you money. Let's let her say it again.
You can build a prison. You can hire a bunch of people to guard the people in that prison, about 300 people. Communities like to have a prison come to their community because that's 300 people who didn't have jobs before they got there. And I have worked with some prison employees. And let me tell you, that's an interesting experience. But you need to see the film, A Class Divided. If you haven't seen it, get a copy of it and look at it. And look at what those people who are in the business of guarding people in the prisons talk like, the way they act, the way they think, and the things they are willing to do to maintain their position. We open a prison.
Right, Chosen. We
put you in prison for whatever crime we decide you have committed. And if you remember, 3 strikes, you're out. I do. That's another thing I remember. The third the third crime that you commit can get you sent to prison. And in the prison,
I don't know, Sherry Stone. I don't know. YouTube be tripping. I don't know, but I see this comment. Try typing it again, please.
Be forced to work for 8 hours a day for 22 cents an hour. The money that you make goes to the victim of your crime. Now, if there's no victim, where does the money go? If you force a person to work and furnish him food, lodging, and clothing, that's called slavery. Now think about that. We have reinstituted slavery with the prison industrial system in the United States of America. And then you look at the percentage of people who are in prison who are people of color. particularly the males. And then you look at how easy it is for a melanatic person to go to prison for the same crime
Yes, it
that a
does.
melanemic person can do
They
and get
behave.
the slap on the wrist. If you think that our justice system is just, you're wrong. And if you haven't read the book, y'all all know the name of this book, so tell me what it is. Michelle Alexander's The New Jim Crow.
Oh, yeah.
Have you read it?
Yeah.
All right. Isn't this exactly what she says? And if you look around and you do just a little bit of, just investigate a little bit, and you realize that she was right when she wrote the book, and she's right today. And what Bill Clinton did was cause a whole bunch, thousands of young black males to go to jail. You can send your raw materials into a prison and have something produced at a whole lot less than it would cost you if you sent those materials overseas or did it in the public sphere instead of in the prison. Our prison system is not a just system. Criminal justice,
We know that.
is an oxymoron. It's mostly criminal and damn little justice, particularly if you're a person of color.
But like she said earlier, racism is a money-making business. And racism is a money-making business on all sides. White supremacy, oppressing people is a money-making business. Jane Elliot, has made a lot of money talking about racism, but having no solutions for it or for us. Jane Elliot has not been an asset to us. Jane Elliot has done nothing but leech off of our pain with her experiment and get paid to do it. Like Cornell said, she ain't to be trusted. Yeah, racism is a business. It's a business for you as well, Jane. We see you. I need reading glasses, but I can see you, Jane. I can see your bullshit. I can see it. Racism is a business for you too. Racism lines your pockets too. You going around doing your blue-eyed, brown-eyed experiment in the beginning. You going around just flabbergasting, just talking. I probably used that word wrong, but just talking. She's just talking about racism. Okay. What are you telling us that we don't already know about racism, and how do we end this? And what are you as a white person truly doing to get some tangible results from other white people? We don't want no emotional results, we want tangible results. This woman is always pretending to be for black people, then shows her true self when reparations comes up. We'll be getting reparations whether they like it or not. Better question is, why is it not FBA considered a better reference than what I'm just saying. That's part of the conditioning. That's part of the conditioning. It said she is being deceptive, and I wish the brothers would take her. The brother take her to task, ask her if she supports that. But I don't think those brothers can do that. To be honest, I've watched it several times. I don't think they can do that. Somebody say she an agent. Say we had to co-sign her though for her to have the yep. No, you right. You are right. You get a star. Your comment get a star. Black people co-signed her. White ice is colder. Jane's message was greater than the messages we was already getting. That's how she out there. Look, she's on these brothers' podcast. Said 10 wise too. You already know it. Said the feds enjoy false leaders of all races. Right. They give us our leaders. The
Absolutely. The the exercise, the blue-eyed, brown-eyed exercise that you conducted in the 60s, right in the heels in the heat of the civil rights movement. I believe it was right after Dr. King was assassinated. Talk about the motivation behind doing
next
that.
Day.
Wow. So was it like enough was enough?
Yeah. No. Enough isn't enough. Enough is too damn much.
So the blue-eyed, brown-eyed experiment started the next day after Dr. King was taken out. Was that coincidence or was it planned? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just throwing it out there.
Enough is too much. Don't say enough is enough to me when we're talking about racism. Any racism is wrong and it has to be stopped. It has to be stopped now for one really good reason. If we don't stop what white people, what melanemic people have been doing to melanotic people all these years, if we don't stop it now, we're going to have nothing but chaos for the next 30 years as more and more melanemic so-called white people get more and more upset about the fact that their jobs are going to depend on suiting the person who is their boss, and their boss is going to be a person of color. We've got to change this system, and we've got to change it now. Martin Luther King Jr. had been one of our heroes of the month, along with, unfortunately, George Washington, who owned slaves, Abraham Lincoln. The Republican Party is the party of Lincoln. Lincoln was part black, part white, and part Cherokee Indian. He was a Melungeon. You knew that, right?
Who cares?
And if you didn't know it, why didn't you know it?
Who cares?
I think.
Who gives a damn what his racial makeup was? What tangible outcomes did we get from Lincoln? What was Lincoln's true plans, true intentions and things? I don't give a damn about his racial makeup. That's that feel-good stuff that Dr. Amos Wilson be telling us to stay away from. Stay away from the feel-good stuff. Who gives a shit about his genetic makeup, his racial makeup, or whatever? So what? It didn't help black people.
That's just fantastic. You need to realize that. Two of our other heroes of that month were Davy Crockett, who was killed while he was fighting a war to take over part of the Mexicans' land, and Daniel Boone, who took the land from Native Americans and made it his own, because that's what we did in those days. Those are our heroes of the month in February, along with Martin Luther King Jr. Now, most of those heroes...
Anybody with a haircut like that would never be on our side. I'm gonna let her finish rambling.
Should not have been heroes in view of what they had done to people of color, but they were heroes for us. And here was Martin Luther King Jr., whom I thought was all about hope. And for me, hope is an acronym for holding on to positive energy. That's what he did.
So that's the end of that.
To stop believing what you believed before in the right.
She on somebody else's panel. She on another black panel. That black people just be inviting Jane Elliot any and everywhere. That's the problem. Our open door policy has to stop. Delineation has to happen. Delineation doesn't mean that we're not a part of the African diaspora. Delineation doesn't mean that we go to war against African people. It doesn't mean we go to war against Caribbean people. What it means, though, is that we establish that we are the descendants of the people who were enslaved in America. Nobody care about none of those people. But to your point, Sherry, they keep giving us our heroes. Dr. John Henry Clark talked about that. I got a audio clip of him talking about that, how they continue to give us our heroes. It does speak to the type of choices mixed race people have typically made historically. It's in Chancellor Williams has a whole chapter dedicated to the mulatto and destruction of black civilization. I'm sure you know, but that whole chapter he got dedicated to the actions of the mulatto and the sides they chose. So yeah. And we seen some of those behaviors on the plantation as well. If she come over here, we're gonna treat her like there you go. Look, Jane Elliott come over here if she want to. She better strap it up. Matter of fact, if Jane Elliott come over here, I'm gonna have my partners with me. I ain't gonna do it by myself. She gonna get that smoke. She gonna have to get that good smoke. I'm gonna have my partners with me. Come out of her and be separate. There you go. It's crazy how outsiders try to govern how we feel. There you go. And look, man, if she was over here, I would want y'all to fire her. I would want y'all to be real. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't nobody talking about Jane Elliott ain't talking about nothing over here, right? We're not doing nothing she's saying. That's right, William. No. Blue vein. That's funny. Man, look. I'm glad you all enjoying this content. I'm glad you all enjoy the content that I bring you all. I'm glad you do. Abraham Lincoln did say a version of I assign supremacy to the look. We all know. So, Jane. So you see the first video, like I say, set the foundation of the brother saying Black unity is a myth. Yes, Black unity is a myth in the sense that it never actually happened here in America, and there was no true unity between all the groups of people in Africa. True, but Black unity should be something that we should be aspiring to. I do agree that we need to organize on the local level, but I think we need to organize on the local level so we can branch out on the national level. Unity, true organization, and being a people who are codified with own code that will allow us to be in a better position, in a stronger position, a more powerful position to get what we need for ourselves. I know, Amina, you late. It's a school night too, so we ain't gonna go as long. But please do that. Catch the first part on that replay. Be part of that replay game. But you know, it ain't no live if you ain't here. It ain't no live if you ain't here. I appreciate you as always, my sister. Thank you. Jane Elliot, man, we see you. We see you, Jane. We see you, and we calling you out. You're full of it. You're not a true ally. John Brown set the bar. She is not a John Brown. And I'm gonna say it again. Like she said, racism put money in people's pockets. Racism is a business, right? Racism was a business for you to go around talking about it and telling people, hey, racism exists. Well, we already knew racism exists. I want you to experience what Black people experience. You have no idea what Black people experience on those plantations. And that lined your pockets, and that led you to the realm that you in now. And like PhD was said, well, Black people validated that as well. Our crazy ass validated her. So here we are. Black men. We got a lot of work to do, Black men. We got a lot of work to do. We got to be better. Black women. Y'all got a lot of work to do too. Black people. We got work to do to be better. We got to be better. You get a star, Cornell. You get a star. Your comment get a star. No one is unified, but people are codified. We got to be codified. If we're not codified, we ain't talking about nothing. There you go. We got to be codified. Have a unified, compensatory code of conduct. Keep the book handy. I keep it handy. You heard me? We don't need our scholars has given us what we need. We just got to utilize it. That's been our issue. We haven't utilized it. So until we start utilizing stuff, we can't complain about our conditions, man. We can't complain. So about to bring this thing to an end, because once again, it's a school now. Who's the author of the book? Oh, that's Neela Fuller. This is Neela Fuller's compensatory code. There's a link. All the books. So every Monday, I'm gonna say it again. It's Tuesday night. So every Monday, I do a book reading. On this channel every Monday, right? So yesterday's Monday. So yesterday's video, the title is "Blacks Were Made to Work for Whites," and that's covering chapter 8 of the Miseducation of the Negro. Today's video is a part of the lecture series, and it's 20 minutes of a lecture of Jawanza Kunjufu's lecture, "The Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys." And so I'll be covering that for the next couple weeks. And then tomorrow's video, I'm giving information on a lady named Rose Meta Morgan, who built the largest Black-owned beauty business in the world, and she was a wonderful woman. So I'm dropping that on y'all tomorrow, so make sure y'all check that out. Oh yeah, send another poem, Miss Ashlyn. I dug your poem because you really got into what we were experiencing as a people here in America. The fake food, the atrocities, the brainwashing. You're right. On every level, they are feeding us poison. On every level, they're feeding us poison. So yeah, check me out. I appreciate that. I'm done with the lift off programs. Nah, we ain't doing that. If we ain't taking care of ourselves, we ain't taking care of nobody. It's the same thing like taking care of your physical health, your mental health, your psychological health. If I don't take care of me, I'm no good for my people. If we don't take care of us, we can't help nobody else. But we gotta take care of us first. There you go, Neely Fuller Jr. is the man. I might have a opportunity to collaborate with his platform. I keep y'all updated on that. I got an email, so I'm gonna let y'all know. I might have a opportunity to be a guest contributor over there. So we're gonna see. I had the privilege to speak to him once on the phone. Man, I know that had to be live. Will, I know that had to be live. That's what's up, my brother. That is what's up. Yes. I have both those books, very inspiring and inspiring. Yes, yeah. Check these books. And matter of fact, while we at it, I keep saying this. Look, this book right here by Patrick, my man, my co-host Patrick Irvin. This is one of the best books I've read about what happened to the Black family. It's in the description. If you look at the Amazon link in the description, you can get all these books. Shout out to my man, Professor Carl Tone Jones, for his book, 2020 Through the Eyes of a Social Media Revolutionary. So make sure y'all check out my man PC. No, I'm not PhD, but I'm not done with Carter G. Woodson. We're only on chapter 8 so far. So said cancer is tearing. It is from all levels. We've been poisoned on all levels. Jawanza Kanjufu and Michael Porter's books are mandatory. Yep, they need to be. Say spiritual warfare, complete suit of armor of God. You already know. So I got that one. You got it. You got the books. And make sure y'all check out PC. My man Juanito Wilborn, he just dropped this book. So 3 books he's dropped, and giving poems and short poems and things about things that happened to him in this life and how he's persevering. And the good brother, Dr. Bruce Strobel Jr., By Any Dreams Necessary. He's a activist fighting for our environment, and a lot of good information in that book. So make sure y'all check these books out. Say, forget Jane Elliott. Battle Genja in the building. Forget Jane Elliott. She talked so greasy at the only lecture I went to. I saw Jane Elliott. So let me tell y'all this. So Jane Elliott come to Tallahassee. So Tallahassee, Florida is a small town, but we get people be coming here. So Jane Elliott came here before, and I had a chance to talk to her, and she was just basically she was like, I thank you Black people for being strong and all these things you are. She was doing a lot of pandering. She's doing a lot of pandering. Renee Matthews Jackson. How you doing? You get hand claps, Miss Renee. You get hand claps. Mother rapper in the building. We did a live years ago. We got to get back up. We got to talk some more theater, please. What my email at? Miss Renee, you got, please hit me up. We got to talk again, because we had a great conversation last time we talked. What my email at? Yeah. Make sure y'all check out. Hit me up in the email, please. If you don't already have it, we got to catch up again, Miss Jackson. I enjoyed our interview. It says our lives are always popping and educating. They do not teach me in school like this, and I had to learn elsewhere. But I know the American Revolution, but not about us. Right? All of us. So, PhD, I do have a playlist for the book readings. It is, if you go to my channel, you go to the playlist. It is the OTSOG Black Book Review playlist. I do have a playlist for it. The OTSOG. Matter of fact, let me share my screen real quick. Let me share my screen real quick. Make sure y'all see. So this right here, the black book, the OTSOG Black Book Review. This is my book playlist. So this is this playlist for like a lot of my historical videos and things and interviews that I do. This is for all my book reviews. This is for things that we do for my Black History School. These are our lectures. These are the clips. These are our Friday breakdowns. These for the lives, for the shorts. And so, yep, right here. It was interesting how she flipped out when pressed about her intentions. Hey man, you already know. Sorry I'm late. Just finished the session. No problem, my brother. I'm glad you're here. No problem. And be part of the replay game with Amina and catch the first part of this. So me and PhD we're gonna be back live Saturday at 3:30. It's going down. We're definitely gonna be back live. So we had a good time last Saturday. She dropped a lot of gems. So I appreciate you, my sister. Yep. Hey man, this is school night. I got to get up out of here. I got to go get me something to eat and get ready so I can be to work on time in the morning. So we're going to keep doing what we do. Enjoy your interview with Joe. That was, yeah. Our PhD, but she brought it, man. She brought it. So I'm about to go watch some more of the Sharon. I don't know the brother's full name, so forgive me, but the channel Sharon that you're on, PhD, I'm about to go watch some more of y'all, because y'all be wild and y'all be having a good time. And I heard some of the things that you said, and I agree with a lot of stuff you said. Matter of fact, me and my homeboy had a conversation the other day, because I was telling him about a question that you asked I was like, damn. It was either a statement that you asked, but it was real. I was like, she ain't lying. So you cool with me. So with that being said, let me go ahead and start to close this out. Sherry Stone, I appreciate you for being in here. Battle Genja, thank you. The real PhD, well, thank you, my sister. We're gonna be back live on that good Saturday. Miss Ashlyn, thank you. I appreciate you. Miss Renee Jackson, thank you again. We need to catch up. Amina, my sister, as always, I always appreciate you being here. Thank you. Black butterflies. I think I was a singer in my past life. I like to sing, but it don't sound good all the time. But but Black Butterflies, I appreciate you. My man Will Justice, thank you. Who else? It's up in here. Cornell Davis, thank you. Ty, you already know what it is, Ty. Thank you. Chosen, thank you. I'm gonna say 1111 because I don't want to say what I'm thinking, but I don't want to pronounce that wrong. So 1111. Thank you, my brother. Alou Sloans, thank you for being here. Sleepy CC, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Kerwin, my brother Kerwin, thank you. William Hankerson, thank you. The Bushwoman, thank you. As always, thank you. Who else? Who else was up in this thing? And remember, PC, my man PC was up in here. Thank you, PC. Thank you, Door of L. Every day at 1 p.m. I'm dropping a new video. Every day at 1 p.m. come back to this channel. They shadow banned, but come back to the channel. Every day at 1 p.m. I'm dropping a new video. Every Saturday at 3:30 I go live. Every Tuesday at 9 p.m. I'm going live. Half Native, half American. Thank you. Half African. Thank you for being here. Every day, remember, come check me out every day at 1 p.m. I'm dropping shorts. I'm dropping videos. I'm doing all that stuff. Will Justice, thank you for being here. So together we stand. You already know. thank you for being here. Says, by any means, thank you. Do. Who else? What's up in here? Frazier, thank you. Then we gotta give Gifty, thank you. Gotta get everybody their flowers. TRB Story, thank you. The Iron Horse, thank you. And my man Dion White, thank y'all for being here. How do I get the hoodie? I gotta get my life together. I'm be honest. I'm working on it. I gotta get my my merchandise together, but that's at the top of the list for me to do my thing. But I appreciate you putting that back at the top of my mind. But I'm gonna get my life together, get my hoodies together, so I can make sure y'all and other people get one. So thank you as always. Thank you. I'm gonna rewind the video. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. As always. Peace. I haven't started my. You need to go ahead and start your channel. Start your channel. Thank you all. Hey, I love y'all, my black people. I love y'all, and I catch y'all live Saturday at 3:30. But remember, tomorrow 1 p.m. I'm dropping a video. So yeah. No, I need to get them made. I need to find. I need help with the drop shipping. I need to get my drop shipping together, and I don't want to do the middleman stuff that all the other stuff do. So I'm gonna email you. But I love y'all, and I'll see y'all later. I gotta go eat. Take my butt. All right. Priest, I see you. Say no charge either. I got you. I appreciate you, my brother. I see y'all later.